Welcome to Innovate Now. In today's session, we're going to be covering off ABAP Build Factory. Today, I've got my colleague with me, Ramesh. Hi, Ramesh.
Hi, Kevin. Thank you for inviting me.
Great. So could you please just explain a bit more about your role at Kagool and why we have you today in this session, if possible?
Of course, thank you. So first of all, if I'll talk about my journey, so I have total more than 15 plus years of experience throughout the SAP ABAP, talking through all the different technical aspects of SAP. And when I started my journey with Kagool, over here we got multiple opportunity in terms of delivering solution which is very close to ABAP Build Factory or similar to that. So this is where, and also at this moment I am heading the complete technical portfolio for enterprise solution.
Great. Nice. Good. So in today's session, we're going to be covering off ABAP Build Factory models and how that's a transformative approach. From a technical solution perspective, obviously bringing in some highlights around scalability, efficiencies, and relevance across all markets. So Ramesh will obviously go through a few insights into the solution itself and where it's relevant for customers. So in today's session, we'll go through a bit of an overview. And for section 1, we'll do introductions and overview around Build Factory. So Ramesh, what is a Build Factory model?
Thank you. First of all, it is very close to my heart, basically, because it is the area where I have worked almost most of my time during my professional career. And when you talk about ABAP Build Factory, it is basically kind of a proven, established delivery framework, which will give you a lot of benefit in terms of establishing that framework. Example, having your faster delivery, governance, quality. You can accommodate any automation into that framework. So overall, it is like one suite which will enable corporate while all the delivery, all the development, you can bundle into one framework. With efficiency, you will be able to deliver to a customer.
Good, great. So how does a Build Factory model apply to a technical solution delivery, especially from an SAP perspective?
So as I mentioned, it's a framework. So be it SAP or any technology, it's a framework. First, we have to establish this framework, basically. So example, we have to set a delivery framework where all your pipeline, anything, any requirement, any new development requirement, be it coming from your migration, be it coming from your change request, be it coming from your any new project starting upon over there. So setting a framework, all the demand will come to a central framework. Central framework will do those delivery, development, and then pass it to the customer.
Right.
So this is the overall framework which you have to establish, and then that framework will take care of all your development, whatever is needed as part of your SAP innovation.
Great. So what we're going to cover off in the next section is focusing on business value and the benefits that come from that. So with customers adopting this Build Factory model, can you just outline why they would do that?
So what I'll do, I'll mainly split into 3 more pillars why customer are adopting this Build Factory. Apart from many other benefits, but these are the main 3 pillars. One is demand management. So any or every demand can be managed with the central governing model, which is your Build Factory. Any build related demand. Second one is it is very much proven and established framework, which will give you different type of synergy, example, efficiency, cost, and all those things. And third one is central governance. It is as good as in any county you have a council, right? If you have to put any new governance, you just pass to a council and everything is getting applied into complete county. So it is as good as if you have a framework established. If you wanted to pass anything, it is easy to manage, govern, and
great.
Seamlessly can be managed. Example, you came up with a new template, right? And you want everyone should start adopting this template as part of any new development. Co-implement into Build Factory across the organization, it will get implemented. So these are the three things which I would like to call about: proven framework, as I mentioned, central governance, and easy demand management.
Okay. So what are the primary benefits for businesses, particularly around enterprise solutions?
Okay. So apart from many technical benefit, I would like to talk about what are the business benefit also. So example, two main things which I would like to highlight over here. One is cost. Everything is revolving around cost benefit, and the another one is time to business, right? So in this competitive market, everything is innovative. Everything is like, how quickly we will able to adopt any new innovation. So the time to business will be very quick over here because you have a central delivery methodology, central governance, anything you wanted to have. You don't have to establish a new team. You don't have to establish a new methodology. Everything is predefined. So you can quickly able to get things time to business done. And cost benefit, because for each and every demand will not go through complete demand management cycle. It is defined framework. You pass the demand as good as in the factory. We give the input, we get the output. Everything is pre-established, right? We don't have to build all the life cycle again and again. So these are the two key business benefit I would like. And from technical side, there will be a lot of benefit in terms of similar delivery methodology being followed. So you will get the efficiency gain over there. Right? Technical solution, any new innovation is coming as a build factory level. If you have a person who is dedicated in managing that innovation, you will quickly able to adopt across all the technical solutions. So these are the three key benefits I would like to mention about this.
Okay, and I guess we're covering off obviously essentially how these improvements come about, from efficiencies, scalability, which is you sort of alluded to, and then cost effectiveness. Is that something also worth mentioning?
Absolutely. Three keywords which you have used. One is example, efficiency, right? So in the build factory, the best part is your knowledge. Whatever is, it's not about just technical delivery. Along with technical delivery, your technical consultant will learn about your business. So knowledge retention will be there, right? Which will help to drive the efficiency along with technical efficiency, like reusable code and all those things. And having that business context and knowledge along with the reusability will add a lot of efficiency in terms of delivery. So that is point one. Scalability. So build factory is always based on the core flexi resource modeling and onshore offshore model. So these are the two key pillars to manage the resource demand and optimize the cost further on. So what is core flexi model? So for every build factory, there will be X percentage of resource who will be core resource, who will always working for that customer. And that X percent will be always very optimized percentage, who will be fixed to that project and who will be the key person who will retain the knowledge, retain all the reusability as part of that delivery. So that will help you to keep the knowledge, and flexi will help you to scale anytime. If you wanted to add more resource, you will be able to bring the resource and basically onboard the resource as and when needed. So this is core and flexi model. Along with we know now when we talk about factory, in the mind it is coming 24/7, for example, right? And then the different location, basically onshore offshore location, play a very key role. So we ensure that nothing should be stopped in a time. So basically, as much as using the different location, we should give more cover and support to the customer. So build will be more shrink and quickly, again, as I mentioned, right, time to market will be very quick. So these are the two scalability pillars which give option to scale how you want to scale. And cost effectiveness, as I mentioned, because you don't have to start a new planning, new life cycle, right? And you have a different resourcing model as well as you have a knowledge intensive. So if you will add all three, it will give a very great cost benefit, cost effectiveness to that.
So it's almost every cycle of the build. You're not starting from the beginning again.
Absolutely.
It's sort of reusing what you've already done.
Absolutely. So if you will talk about life cycle, example, you got a demand. You started preparing, okay, how much resource, how many resources needed, who will managing this project, how the ELS will happen. Everything will be managed with this framework now because you have established framework. You have a predefined rate card. Example, if you will got 10 new requirement, you can pre-estimate these 10 requirement how much it will cost. You will pass it. You don't have to go with the new life cycle of ELS, early life support. You don't have to go with the new life cycle of, example, project initiation phase. It is as good as like in a factory. You are just giving as an input. They are coming up with the output because of this defined framework.
Okay. So from a business value perspective, when is it right that customers bring this model in?
So there is no any predefined timeline when we should onboard. But it is as good as, if you will be early in the game, you will get more benefit.
Right. Okay.
Out of that. But it's not like, if you have delayed for any reason, you should not, or you will not able to establish this framework. You can adopt any time. But my suggestion will be as early you will be doing, you will get all the benefit, scalability, cost benefit, what we talked about.
Good. So from an operational mechanism, what's sort of the framework, Ramesh, around following a build factory model, like you've already explained?
Thank you for asking this question. It's really because we talked about framework, but it is something to have a look about what is this framework, right? So if visually I will try to give you some imagination, right? Example, if you will split into three pillars, right? First pillar is talking about all the demand. Second pillar is all about all the factory operation, and third pillar is all about governance plus output quality, right? So when I talk about demand, first pillar, it will be like you will have a customer point of contact who will be catering all the demand coming from different part of the requirement. If I'll talk about if you are an existing customer, you may have a production issues or anything, any new changes which you are doing. So those are the change requests. If you are rolling out for any new plant, something, right? So new rollout that can be, or as part of that, if you are doing some kind of migration, S4HANA or anything. So all the demand can be managed and forecasted to the factory. So in the factory there will be one build factory lead, build factory manager, for example, and the key responsibility will lie with him, managing and coordinating the demand with the customer POC as well as managing the delivery. So they will have the two key person to help them to manage the demand and manage the delivery. Right? And they will ensure that the quality, consistency, timeline, all these are met. Because when we talk about build factory delivery, it should be different to the other delivery methodology where every project is managed independently, right? So example, in the other project, if you wanted to measure the quality, every time you will be thinking, if I will measure the quality of this project, with what reference I should be measuring this, right? But having in build factory, you have that reference metrics established, right? So you will get the quality delivered. Right? So that factory, the center pillar, will ensure that every demand is getting catered and get delivered. Then the third pillar, which I talked about, basically, which is more about quality, right? Over there, you will have monthly governance meeting where it will be like, how is the demand, how we are progressing. Weekly, you have weekly meetings where you will be forecasting how things are progressing, how the demand, and also you will be establishing that in terms of ratio of core and flexi model. Do we need to ramp up, ramp down? So all flexibility will be with customer, right? So example, in a time, if there are 10 projects which is running in parallel and they need more than 50 plus resource, they will be able to augment that. But again after 6 months, they are just working on a change request where only it is sufficient for 3 or 4 resource. They can ramp down, right? So those synergy will be there, and then you will have any and every kind of more innovation adoption, so that quality will ensure. Example, we were following a development methodology, or something from BTP needs to be incorporated, for example, right? So they will ensure that that should be incorporated across the all related. So these are the 3 key pillars. Along with that, there are few cross pillars, things which will run in parallel, like pricing catalog you will establish. Then you will have, as I mentioned, checklist, templates, all the best practices provided by SAP, and any kind of quality governance if you wanted to put in place. So once you will place this, complete 4 things will make you a complete build factory framework, where you, once you establish this, you will start seeing all the wonders and magic.
So obviously it's bringing in a lot of business value. It's bringing in the potential innovations that come with this. There's clearly a build cycle that is well structured, and there's a quality which manages all the testing as well that comes along with that. Great. So now we're on to the exciting stuff, the user cases and the examples. So from sharing an example perspective, Ramesh, where would Build Factory as a model be implemented?
So if I'll talk about use case across the different organizations globe, it's many and multiple places.
Right.
But I would like to call where I personally involved and our team were involved. So a couple of them example. One is in the UK based biggest automotive customer, where we established the Build Factory model. And I remember that there are total 7 to 8 projects which was running in parallel, and we could able to efficiently deliver all the demand together in parallel, right? So they have one rollout, they have multiple different CRs packet, projects where came up and from different geographic location, and we could able to centrally manage and govern. So that was one. Another one was one manufacturing customer, again UK based, where we are engaged with them, and almost like last 2 to 3 years we are delivering with the using the Build Factory methodology with them. Also, I will be very excited to share that there is a new Build Factory we are going to set up in one of UK food and beverage customer in next 2 months. So that is the very exciting and new journey again we have with the customer. And since we came with the multiple experience in terms of establishing the Build Factory, I can see the synergy and benefit of the customer. So use case point of view, there are many, but these are the few which I have shared with you.
Okay. Great, and obviously we can go into more detail where required, and I think the audience really would benefit from understanding a bit more about that. So we'll have another session to go through that. So that's great. So from a strategic consideration, Ramesh, what's the role the location has, and what part does it have in setting up a Build Factory model for our clients?
So a strategic point of view, if I will summarize in 2 words, as I mentioned, like example, it is like onshore and offshore model. And when we are setting up the Build Factory initial time, we will have more on-site presence than offshore, because a lot of coordination, framework setting, new methodology, new framework. So it is as good as, if you have a very good and fabulous framework, but if it is not adopted rightly with the industry and organization, you will not able to see the right benefit out of that framework.
Correct.
So the role has a very crucial, location has a very crucial part to play in this setting of the Build Factory model. But a strategic point of view, more just during the setup process, you will have more onshore than
Okay.
offshore.
Yeah.
But later you can move everything and most of the things to the offshore.
So that's when the flexibility comes in, right? Where
Absolutely.
clearly there's going to be an onshore position because there's a lot of business users onshore.
Yeah.
And then as the model needs to flex, so you then adjust according to the business requirements offshore, which is the location element. Okay. So one of the questions that I personally had, which I would like some sort of clarification on really, Ramesh, if you don't mind, is very much how this build factory model is linked or dealt with by the center of excellence inside of an organization, and how do they manage that, and what part does the build factory play potentially within the center of excellence team?
It's a really good question. So center of excellence is something which is ensuring the excellence of all kind of delivery, not only about the build, about anything basically, right, in the organization.
All things SAP.
All things SAP. And now, if you will talk about what we discussed until now about build factory, this is kind of very structured framework where you have a central governance model inside itself in the build factory. So you can very well gel with the COE, center of excellence. If you have that connectivity between your build factory model and center of excellence, so any kind of new adoption, new excellence methodology, new quality check, if you wanted to enforce as part of your complete delivery methodology, you will quickly and efficiently able to do. Other way around, if you will think without having a build factory, right, you have 20 projects running at tender, right? Now you wanted to implement some excellence, you wanted to implement some kind of quality. It will be literally nightmare for you because every is getting managed by different project manager, different teams there, different consultants are working. Even if you will enforce your quality check, the adoption of that will be very tedious and difficult, right? So it is very well complementary to each other, if I'll say so.
Okay.
Right, build factory is the complementary with center of excellence.
Okay, so the build factories within the center of excellence. The center of excellence teams should use the build factory model.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, great. Right, so from a prospect position, so what opportunities exist out there at the moment of expanding the build factory model into new sectors, not just ABAP?
Okay. So build factory, because it's a framework, right? It's not bounded with the ABAP. And today, if you will see the innovation what SAP is bringing in terms of BTP extension, build zone, AI, ML, lot of innovation, LLM, basically large language model, all those things are coming up, and everything is linked to some kind of build, may or may not be ABAP, right? So this build factory is as a framework can be rolled out for each and every or any basically build related requirement. And also I will not limit this just into SAP, right? You will be able to extend it to any kind of delivery methodology. This is the methodology basically.
Okay.
So you can bring any kind of demand, be it your AI/ML demand, be it your build zone demand, be it your large language model demand, be it your any kind of automation. Build, deliver, and get all the reusability, get all the governance, get all the quality as you are getting in there.
So essentially, it's dealing with the structured approach of both ABAP and any future projects, which is great. So from an innovation perspective, such as AI and machine learning, could you enhance on the build factory approach a bit further?
Absolutely. So at this moment, there are it's a framework, but in the framework there are a lot of places where things are happening people oriented, if I'll say so. Example, if demand is getting managed, then it passed to the demand manager, then it passed to the build factory manager, then it is coming into build factory, then it is getting delivered, right? So we see the scope of automation using AI/ML, right? So the framework can be enhanced, and at the same time onboarding all the AI/ML delivery under the build factory, it will help customer to gain the benefit of whatever new adoption is being provided or new offerings has been provided by SAP. So they will be able to quickly adopt that.
Okay, lovely, perfect. So from this session's perspective, we've come to a close. So I appreciate that, Ramesh. What I'd like from the audience out there is to obviously follow, to like, and to share any of the contents or the elements that you're interested in within your organization. Feel free to follow the Innovate Now series on social medias, however you digest that, as well as focusing on the website. So Ramesh is going to share a bit more about what that means within Build Factory, give some guidance and so on and so forth within some material we have online and are obviously prepared to share with yourself. So from myself and Ramesh, would like to bid you a farewell, and Ramesh, look forward to having you in a few future sessions as well.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.